Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading, and today is Monday, October 7th, 2024. So looking at the highlights of the day, we're watching oil spike on Mideast concerns. But first, looking at the market, starting out with the Forex symbols, the US dollar gaining versus the Japanese yen. And as we look at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ continue to gain on the upside. Now looking at commodities, yes, oil spikes. Gold gets a little bit of a bounce around supportish area. And shifting over to the stocks, Meta just doesn't stop. Keeps on making new record highs. And lastly, look at cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin gets a bounce as well. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're looking at the Japanese yen. And this is where it looks very interesting. We went from 140 to 148. A big bounce for the Japanese yen, meaning the dollar did get stronger versus the Japanese yen. Now we are closing in on resistance level at this 149-ish level, and we're just below it at 148.29. So this may be a point where we're just going to find ourselves between these 2 points. However, the dollar is getting stronger. So if we look at the Euro USD, you could see it over the past few days. Okay, we've had a nice turnaround. I mean, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days where we were just trading in that upper range at that 112-ish level, couldn't sustain it, and then broke lower to 109. That's 300 pips in less than a week. Amazing trade if you did get to that. That was a double top. Now, it did look like it was going to break out higher, but it didn't, okay? It made a double top, even though it broke above that 200-day average. And for a while, we looked like we were going to honor that 200-day moving average as a supportish level, but we didn't. Now, the next real supportish level is 108.90-ish level, so we have another 100 pips on the downside. So keep that in mind as this makes a correction. Now, jumping into crude oil, this is where it's happening. Mideast concerns, there's possibly a war in the Mideast. And this is what happens to oil, because most of the oil is coming out of the Mideast. And sure enough, at $75 a barrel, going from 67, a big spike. It still has some room on the upside. And especially if the war does break out, okay, to the point that it's full scale, obviously this will go even higher than that. So keep that on the loop, as this may still be a transition period. Now, anytime you're trading the news, just really have to be on top of the news, because things will either cook up or simmer down. And if they do, in either direction, the market will respond accordingly. Nothing doing with the other major commodities. So I'm going to jump into the U.S. markets. We did get a nice push above last week for the Dow Jones, closer to its all-time record highs. Okay, it's getting firmer right before the elections, and it's only happening 4 weeks from today. So this is from tomorrow. So this is really the last stretch of the elections in the U.S. Now looking at the NASDAQ, yeah, it got a little bit stronger. It's above 20,000, which was a level that we wanted to be above. We kind of hit that before, one time before, and now we're hopefully going to hold it. Now looking at the individual stocks, this is where it gets really interesting. Check out Meta. I mean, this thing is just a rock star. $595. I mean, it just doesn't get better than that. It's almost at $600 a share. Now, if I zoom out, I don't want to hurt you guys' feelings, but look at that. It went from $90 up to $595, 2 years. 2 years. It means if you put $90,000 in this 2 years ago, you would have had over $500,000. Unbelievable return in just 2 years. Okay, so Meta is still very strong. Their bet on AI is coming through, so that's still happening. Now, looking at the others, JP Morgan also got a little bit stronger on Friday. That was another one that got stronger. However, if we still look at Microsoft, dead. It's not doing much, and this may just have to wait until earnings season for us to get out of this slump. Now, lastly, let's take a look at NVIDIA, also getting stronger here. So it's very stock specific as it's closing in back to its closer to its highs, about 128-ish level, 130-ish level. So that is still making some way back. Now, lastly, let's take a look at Bitcoin, getting a bounce after last week's sell-off. We're still trading in a range. Sell the top, buy the bottom. It's still very, very simple right now. We're in the middle of that, so you don't want to jump in right now, but just keep it on the radar. I mean, it's there, and it's happening, and it's trading, and it's a great opportunity just to trade the range. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.